Minister. Senator McKim.
Yes, thank you, Mr President. Well, 50 years ago, Harold Holt said the infamous words, "all the way with LBJ," and clearly what we're hearing from the government is that we've got to be with Donald T. And it's time for us in this place to have a serious debate about the nature of our relationship with the US. And it is clear to many Australians, Mr President, that we can no longer commit to automatically being best friends with the United States of America under a Trump presidency. We cannot today, here in this place, anywhere in this country, and in fact anywhere in the world, say that it is business as usual, because it is not business as usual anymore. This has been a seismic geopolitical event that we witnessed yesterday afternoon, Australian time. And I won't take interjections from Senator Abetz, who was gloating on ABC radio in Tasmania this morning about the election of Trump. And remember, this is a man who is endorsed by the Ku Klux Klan. He was endorsed by the KKK, Mr Trump was. And here he is, the President-elect of the United States of America. So we can no longer simply lock in behind the United States like a sycophantic little brother or sister. In the past, the cost of not questioning our alliance with the United States has been disastrous for this country. The Vietnam War, where thousands of young Australians perished. The Iraq War, where not only many young Australians have perished, many young Americans have perished, but the war that set the foundations for the rise of extremist cults like Daesh. These interventions, led by the US, blindly followed by Australia, have been disastrous not only for this country but for this world. And have a look at the foreign policy of the man who is being lined up behind by the Coalition and the Labor Party today. He promised to end Muslim immigration to the US. He wants to build a wall between the US and Mexico and then charge the Mexicans to build it. He reached out to the Putin regime, for goodness sake. He's threatened a trade war with China. He's promised to commit war crimes, including torture and extrajudicial killings in the Middle East. He wants to undo the deal that froze Iran's nuclear program. He believes that climate change is a conspiracy created by China. Oh, so do you. Well, good luck to you. You can stack up over there with Senator Roberts all you like, but it says more about you than it does about the overwhelming majority of scientists in this world. So how can we possibly pretend, Mr President, that giving support, blind, sycophantic, unquestioning support to the US under a Trump presidency is in Australia's best needs? Mr President, this motion should be supported. This should be supported because the government needs to act in Australia's best interests. That is the whole point of this debate that we are having today. Now, we know the government's shown it's prepared to lurch to the right to try and reabsorb One Nation voters. They've done it in immigration policy and shamefully, in many cases, bipartisan supported by Labor. That would actually make Trump proud. It would make Donald Trump proud,
Senator
Mr President,
O'Sullivan,
in its cruelty and its underpinnings of xenophobia. They want to undo protections against racial hatred in a fundamental attack on multiculturalism in our country. They want to make it easier for people to be racists in our country, exactly as Mr Trump does in the United States. Well, unlike the Coalition, unlike the Labor Party, the Greens will not stand silently by while endorsement is given to this dangerous sexist, misogynistic, anti-Semitic
Thank you,
sociopath.
Senator McKim.